first in high definition from the station on your side. This is WAVY News 10.
Skull fractures, broken ribs, burned feet. Just some of the injuries investigators say led to a baby's death in Smithfield. Piper Malinsky, just 4 months old, died today at CHKD. Her twin sister Ella, she's in stable condition. Now, 10 on your side was there as authorities took the baby's parents into custody at the Isle of Wight Sheriff's Office. Mary Leanne Webb and Robert Malinsky are accused of the deadly abuse. 10 on your side's Katie Collette is in Isle of Wight County now, where the parents are in jail. Katie.
Tom, when I asked Leanne Webb what happened to her children, she just stayed quiet and looked very sad. But when I asked Robert Malinsky the same question, well, let's just say he had a very different response. How did your babies get these injuries?
How did you get this job?
The two at the heart of this abuse investigation refusing to answer our questions about what happened inside this Smithfield home. It's here, investigators say, horrific things happened to these babies, Piper and Ella.
There's no doubt these children were severely abused.
Isle of Wight Sheriff Captain Rick Gaddis says the twins were found Sunday after a frantic 911 call.
The 911 call was made by the father right after the child quit breathing. And once the EMS, or the emergency services people, got there, they started CPR and ultimately determined that the child needed to be transported by Nightingale over to Norfolk General.
An investigation turned up horrifying clues about the health of the twins. Clues Gaddis says point to one thing: abuse.
Both have skull fractures, both have broken and partially healed ribs. One of them has burns to the bottom of her feet and bruises and contusions pretty much everywhere on their bodies.
Gaddis says the baby who died, Piper, suffered the burns on her feet, possibly from a kerosene heater found in the home.
I've seen a lot of child abuse cases, but I've never seen one as bad as this one with children as young as this.
Now one child is gone forever, the other recovering. Such a sad twist for the two little girls their father once called his angels. Now, Gaddis tells me there is a strong chance one or both parents could face some sort of murder charge. He tells me that's something the Commonwealth's attorney is working on right now. Live in Isle of Wight, Katie Collette, 10 on your side.
Now, that 4-year-old underwent a forensic interview at CHKD. What investigators learned from that interview new tonight at 5:30. A Virginia Beach judge denied bond for the father of a 4-year-old who was accidentally shot. Nicholas Pierce faces felony child neglect charges. Emergency crews rushed his son to the hospital Thursday for surgery after the shooting at their home on Buckhorn Place. A bullet from a large caliber weapon hit the boy's hip. Police say the 4-year-old is still in the hospital in critical condition. A bad Band-Aid solution. That's what Chesapeake school superintendent calls the school budget. Parents aren't happy either. Then on your side's Melanie Woodrow is here with why Chesapeake, though, may have fared better than Virginia Beach in this budget cycle. Melanie?
Tom, Chesapeake superintendent says that he focused more on increasing revenue rather than decreasing expenses. It's a move that helps soften some of these school budget cuts, but the money will not last.
Facing a $48.6 million deficit, Chesapeake School Superintendent James Roberts says he did what was necessary to balance the school budget.
It's a terrible budget. I mean, we had to make cuts. We've reduced programs. We went up in our pupil-teacher ratio. Those are the things you never want to do.
That is horrible. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable.
At City Deli across from Great Bridge Middle School, Lois Taylor took time during lunch with her grandson to talk about the budget.
Education should be first. Teachers should be first.
Superintendent Roberts says teacher layoffs probably will not happen since some teachers will retire, and Chesapeake Schools expects 140 less students next year. However, classroom size will increase, and Chesapeake Schools had to shelve buying new textbooks. Teacher salaries will remain the same, and teachers will receive less money for advancing their education.
It's ridiculous.
Wendy Iyer has 2 children in Chesapeake Schools, including her 12-year-old son, who will likely be impacted by the decision to eliminate a learning program for middle school students falling behind.
I'll fight tooth and nail because my son needs it.
Despite beginning with a larger deficit than Virginia Beach schools, Superintendent Roberts says middle school sports will remain.
We looked at it, but we didn't go that far.
Chesapeake is relying on leftover federal stimulus money and leftover city budget money, both one-time revenue sources.
So next year, we may be looking at the same kinds of cuts Virginia Beach.
Again, Superintendent Roberts says that he hopes the state will wake up to these school budget issues. He does not see it getting any better if the Commonwealth doesn't step up. Melanie Woodrow, 10 on your side.
And regarding those student-teacher ratios, each classroom on average will gain an extra student.
Virginia Beach police say several tips helped them identify one suspect in a series of thefts from elementary schools and daycares. Detectives are looking for 42-year-old Lionel Avery. Investigators say Avery and another woman hit 6 schools and daycares since November. A school spokesperson says the suspects claimed they wanted to register their children, then they would wander the buildings. Police say they took money and credit cards from classrooms, offices, and libraries. If you can help police find them, call the crime line. Norfolk police are looking for the suspect they say ran after a shooting. It happened at around 2 p.m. in the parking lot of the Fresh Pride on Church Street. Rescue crews took the victim to the hospital. No word on their condition.
What was happening on the side of the interstate caused some real traffic trouble on 64. Virginia State Police say a brush fire was burning along the westbound lanes before the 664 exit in Hampton. You see the fire crews there putting things out. That's heading towards Richmond. And this is video from our WAVY Jam Cam showing the scene around noon. Crews closed 2 lanes while they put that fire out. Neighbors were worried about a Norfolk woman when they saw smoke pouring from her home.
All I heard was her screaming, and I looked out the door and I just seen smoke out of the window, and I didn't know what was going on after that, so I just went to her and seen, to make sure she was okay.
Well, the woman did get out of her house on Clemens Avenue, but tried to go back in to get her dog.
Started, opening up the screen, so I grabbed her on the back of the shirt, and she pushed open the front door, and, as expected, she got a big whiff of smoke in the face, and as soon as she did that, that back window blew out and a lot of flames started. So I pulled her back up off the front porch and kept her, from getting back in the house, just for a dog. And then the fire department showed up.
Wow, that was a close call, but that woman was not hurt, and later, yep, they found the dog. Investigators are now trying to find out how that fire started.
Investigators say clothes on top of the stove started a Chesapeake house fire that killed 7 dogs. When firefighters arrived on River Strand and Riverwalk, smoke and flames were pouring from the back of the home. Crews found the golden retrievers dead inside. The homeowners were not there when the fire started. They are staying with family tonight. Investigators say the homeowner took clothes out of the dryer and put them on the stove, and that's what sparked the fire. We wanted to give you a quick update on the search for a missing woman with Alzheimer's. Norfolk police say they found Pamela Husak safe last night. She is in good condition.
Well, it's called the Personhood Bill. It says human life begins at conception, and a majority with the Virginia House of Delegates agrees. Opponents say this could outlaw abortion. Prince William Delegate Bob Marshall says his legislation would not directly affect abortion, but would establish a framework for parents to sue anyone who causes the death of their unborn child. That bill now goes to the state Senate. The state House also passed a bill that requires women to undergo an ultrasound before having an abortion. That bill also requires women to have a chance to view the image, which will be kept in the parent's or patient's file. The Senate already approved this measure.
2 crime stories, two crime scenes, 2 victims, and police say the deaths may be connected. We have new information in the homicide investigations. Find out what 10 on your side uncovered in court.
Remembering Whitney Houston, plans for the singer's farewell, and how you can honor her memory.
And temperatures right now, not too terribly bad. They ended up with a little bit of sunshine, warmed things up to 57 degrees, and some inland areas warmed even more than that. Now, it's going to stay about the same as far as temperatures, but we are going to see some other big changes. You want to see our forecast.
And they could help you show your affection for your Valentine. We got answers about why one local city didn't have love for these people today.
You're watching WAVY News 10 at 5. With Tom Shad, Nicole Libas, and Super Doppler 10 Chief Meteorologist Don Slater.
There is no public memorial plan for Whitney Houston.
Family members plan on having a much smaller farewell. Mark Barger shows us fans are already honoring the singer's memory.
The same Newark, New Jersey church where Whitney Houston sang as a child will now be the scene of her funeral Saturday. Houston's family chose New Hope Baptist Church for the private, invitation-only event. The church is already home to a makeshift memorial by mourners, but Houston's family has announced no plans for a public service.
They have shared her for 30-some years with the city, with the state, with the world. This is their time now for their farewell.
Last night, dozens of fans greeted the hearse carrying Houston's body as it arrived at Wiggum Funeral Home in Newark. The 48-year-old died Saturday in Beverly Hills, her body discovered underwater in a hotel bathtub. It could be weeks before toxicology tests reveal a cause of death. Houston's godmother, Aretha Franklin, shared her grief over the singer's passing last night in Charlotte. She honored a performance commitment, telling concertgoers she needed music to soothe her soul. Houston's fans, meanwhile, are honoring her memory through her music. According to Billboard magazine, digital sales of I Will Always Love You have gone from less than 3,000 in the week preceding her death to more than 200,000 since. It's an echo of Houston's musical legacy.
She's had 3 albums spend more than 10 weeks at #1 on the Billboard 200 albums chart, and there's no other woman in the history of the charts that has done that more than once.
But the majestic singer, whose highs and lows had a very public audience, will have a very private farewell. Mark Barger, NBC News.
Her family is asking in lieu of flowers, mourners make donations in the singer's memory to the Whitney Houston Academy of Creative and Performing Arts in East Orange, New Jersey.
Houston went there as a young girl when it was called the Franklin School. You'll find a special Whitney Houston tribute page on WAVY.com.
Cutting the cost of college. We'll tell you which schools are slashing their bills to incoming freshmen by as much as 50%.
And you've seen them selling flowers, teddy bears, and gift baskets along the street. Today, they were the target of investigators from one local city. Why Valentine's Day was not so sweet for some vendors.
Hi, I was doing checks on Norfolk business license.
For many last-minute shoppers and bargain hunters on Valentine's Day, they are just too convenient to pass up.
Oh, you've driven by them before. Street peddlers with quick deals on roses and other trinkets. They're a common sight in cities on holidays like this one, but not today in Norfolk.
10 on your side's Art Kahn joins us now to explain why. Art.
Well, Nicole and Tom, like you said, we've all seen the roadside stands offering roses for a bargain price. But did you know that some of those businesses are operating illegally? The city of Norfolk is aware of it, and they're cracking down on people peddling without a license. And guess what? Their efforts appear to be working.
We drove around Norfolk for the better part of an hour before we came across this flower stand off Newtown Road.
How you doing? All right, I'm Herb Barber with the city of Norfolk.
Representing the Commissioner of Revenue's office, Herb Barber and his team are checking to see if this young man has a peddler's license to sell his flowers.
Do you have a business license? Does she have a business license, Silly?
The young man is referring to the woman who owns the flowers. City officials can find no record of her business in Norfolk, but that's really not the issue here, as they explained to her on the phone.
Because he's selling outside your shop, you're going to need to have a peddler's license for that, for him to set up here.
A peddler's license in Norfolk costs $500. Officials say the lost revenue to the city is not the only reason they're out here putting a stop to those who are not in compliance with the law.
It's not fair to the other business owners out here who took the time and have their money to purchase their license.
Violators are given a warning and an option to purchase the peddler's license immediately.
If they don't have the money to pay us, they have to shut down. We come back and we see that it's still here, then we'll issue them a summons for operating without a Norfolk business license.
Violators usually end up paying court costs and the price of a license, maybe even a fine.
Depending on whatever the decision is based from the judge.
Yeah, and in the case you just saw, a judge will be making a decision. Mr. Barber called me late this afternoon to inform me that when they returned to the stand on Newtown Road, they were once again selling flowers without a license, and a summons was issued. Art Kahn, 10 on your side.
Oh, all around the world, love is in the air from Taiwan to Turkey. Check out the romance in our slideshow on WAVY.com. And this Valentine's Day also shows strength in numbers. We will take you to a mass wedding in Suffolk. That's on WAVY News 10 at 6.
Look at that.
Yeah, you're falling in love with the weather, though. That's the way I look at it.
It seems like it's warming up a little bit.
Yeah, it's a nice day to take a stroll with your loved one, or, you know.
Oh, he's got that look on his face. What are you typing up over there?
Oh,
Aww.
That's what I did. You can see it at the top there.
I'm afraid to look at my computer.
Yeah, instead of Tower Cam 10, I just went with Sparky there. It says, "Aw." Yeah, nice day out there. Beautiful day. A little bit more sunshine, actually, than we expected. We thought we'd end up with a lot more cloud cover, holding our temperature down to 55, 56 degrees, and we ended up with temperatures into the upper 50s. In Norfolk, anyway, it was 57 degrees so far for a high temperature. There we go, back to normal, not awe. Tower Cam 10, again, beautiful, beautiful day with that bit of sunshine. And you can see our temperatures in Norfolk, again, rose actually to 57 degrees as of 5 o'clock this afternoon. And it only dropped into the upper 30s for an overnight low, so not nearly as cold during the overnight hours. Here's where things are for Newport News. You can see again around 55 degrees, 53 as of the 5 o'clock hour. And really that 57 degree reading, I went back and looked through the past month, at least the month of February, and it's the warmest that we've seen in 10 days. Now, we got a little close on Friday with 55, but of course it started to cool off on Saturday. 47, definitely cool on Sunday. Little bit better yesterday, 51 and 57 degrees so far for today. So again, we have warmed up pretty nicely. Partly cloudy right now. Temperatures into the 50s, 57, one of the warmest spots in the map right now. Our low last night in Norfolk was 38 degrees, 54, 55, there's 57 degrees into Suffolk as well. So again, not a bad day, especially with a little sunshine and not much wind. So again, real nice, nice day, relatively nice day. A little above normal, 51 is normal for this time of year. Now, the cloud cover that we saw in the sunset, there are a few stray showers out there. They're tending to fall apart as they move on in. But again, you can see a stray shower or two overnight, but nothing very, very big. It's not going to be real widespread. And chances are they're going to be so light that by the time you get up in the morning, it will have evaporated off of the streets. The streets will probably be pretty dry tomorrow morning. So again, shower or two overnight. Here's our future track computer model at 2 o'clock in the morning. 7 o'clock in the morning, a light westerly wind out about 10 miles an hour, becoming northerly at 10 to 15. So that'll drop our temperature a couple of degrees, even with a lot more sunshine during the day for tomorrow. Now, tomorrow night we'll start to see the clouds move back on in, and Thursday we're looking for all the world like rain, but it's going to hold off until the end of the day. Southerly winds at 10. There is that rain. There is a cool front dropping on through on Thursday evening. It's not expected to be a huge amount of rain, only around a 1/10 of an inch again at the very, very end of the day coming up on Thursday. Overnight, again, only dropping to around 40 degrees. Cloud cover, stray shower or two overnight. Not really going to dominate our weather overnight. Not going to be hugely cold. There's where we are for the day tomorrow. Not too much different than today, except a lot more sunshine during the day. A little bit of a breeze out of the north at 10 to 15. There's that chance of rain for later in the day on Thursday. Friday, a little cooler, and then definitely cooler coming up for Saturday and especially Sunday, and Washington's birthday, and back up to 55 by next Tuesday.
College on sale. That's right. We're going to run down the list of schools making big cuts of the cost of tuition.
Doctors across the country are concerned about a drug used to treat children with cancer. We'll tell you about the problem that could put lives at risk. Good news for some college-bound seniors. At least 6 colleges are reducing freshman tuition for the upcoming school year. The schools hope to attract more students from middle-income families. Cabrini College near Philadelphia is lowering tuition by more than 12% to about $29,000. Lincoln College in Illinois will cut tuition by 24% to just over $17,000. West Virginia's University of Charleston is reducing tuition 22% to about $20,000. William Peace University in Raleigh is lowering tuition by nearly 8% to about $24,000. And Tom's alma mater, Duquesne University in Pittsburgh, is cutting tuition to its School of Education by half. by half.
I think I'll be a
To
teacher.
$14,000. New Jersey's Seton Hall University is cutting tuition by $21,000 to just over $10 grand.
Go Dukes. I see iPads. They may be coming to a store near you soon because the Wall Street Journal reports Apple is ready to unveil the newest tablet the first week of March, and that AT&T and Verizon Wireless will sell a version of the tablet that runs on 4th generation wireless networks. That means it would make the tablet run faster. Apple has no comment.
A boy home alone in a dangerous situation. Police say he did the right thing to stay safe. Find out what kept him out of harm's way.
And President Obama does not want you to lose $40 out of every paycheck. What he wants lawmakers to do to go along with that payroll tax cut. A young boy found himself in danger but didn't hesitate to take action to keep himself safe.
Hey, Matt, check.
Test check 1, 2, 3, 4.
A young boy found himself in danger but didn't hesitate to take action to keep himself safe.
She was trying to break into our back door. Did you see the subject or you can just hear them? I saw them through my house.
This is a 12-year-old boy in Northern California. He was home alone when someone tried to break in. He hid in the bathroom, called 911, then gave the operator a description of the suspect. 2 minutes into that call, he said the burglar had gotten inside.
I want you to keep whispering, okay? If you feel too scared to talk to me, I want you to put the phone down, but do not hang up.
He kept whispering. Moments later, police arrived, sirens blaring. They believe that scared the suspect away. Officers say the boy's mother had only been gone a short time to run some errands. Police say that boy stayed calm and did exactly what he should have. Good job. Stay with us. WAVY News 10 at 5:30 starts right now.